Just 3 weeks separates us from El Plastico, the much anticipated showdown between the two blue tyrants of English football. Will veteran striker Sergio Aguero pop the Citizens Champions League cherry? Or will Tuchel win his first ever Champions League trophy just 6 months into his Chelsea tenure? Stay tuned with me because there's a lot to talk about and we're going to be breaking it all down now, baby. Hey guys, it's your boy JT and welcome back to another video where we're going to be going through that Chelsea versus Manchester City Champions League tie and also talking about the game that just happened. As always, if you do end up enjoying the video, then a like would always be appreciated. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into the meat of the action. So yes, the much anticipated El Plastico, Chelsea versus Manchester City, Foden versus Mason Mount, Tuchel versus Guardiola. The storylines, the rivalries, the battles all write themselves. And have Chelsea become the new Liverpool in terms of being Manchester City's greatest rival? Thanks to such heavy investment, the two clubs are littered with a plethora of world-class players with squads so deep you could go diving in it. We all know these two like filling their bench with a lot of that Benjamin Franklin. As such, when the two go into battle, it is always a spectacle to behold, with no spectacle perhaps greater than the match that happened just last Sunday. And what a game it was! It had controversy, it had jeopardy, it had penalty misses, it had disallowed goals, it had a last minute winner, it had it all! The game started out just as you'd expect it to, with City on the front foot, City baying for a goal, an early goal which they did in fact get through the feet of Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling, who might I add is a criminally underrated player. A player who, just because he hasn't featured in the Champions League and just because his Premier League stats haven't been as high as they were the past 2 years, everybody's writing him off, everyone's slating him, everyone's saying he can't do it anymore, he can't do it for England. Use your eyes, the guy is clearly quality, he is a world-class footballer. I'm sick to death of saying it. The guy has so many assets on and off the ball which everyone just seems to completely disregard, but nonetheless it was a fantastic finish from him. Basically cover for Aguero's mistake. Couldn't really cover for his second one though, as City end up getting another great chance through the form of a Gabriel Jesus penalty after being taken out from behind by Billy Gilmore. And who are you going to give the penalty to? City are looking through their team littered with world-class players, ballers, who can finish any ball from a dead ball situation. And who do they choose? The veteran striker Sergio Aguero. Seems like a great choice. He steps up to take the shot. The whole crowd in anticipation. The whole crowd of 0 people. I don't know what I'm talking about, crowd. The whole crowd of players around, waiting to see, can he finish this chance? Can he do it? Can he put the Citizens 2-0 to the good in a game which would secure them the Premier League title against their new formed rivals Chelsea, the side who knocked them out in the semi-final of the FA Cup, the team they are about to face in the Champions League final. So he steps up and everyone's expecting a goal, they're expecting a finish, and that's exactly what they got, right? Wrong. He goes up, he goes a bit confidently. You can see he's slowing down his run-up. You think he's going to try something. And what does he do? He goes for the Panenka. He goes for a Panenka. He chips it straight down the middle. But he doesn't do it with enough panache. He doesn't do it with enough disguise. And he most certainly didn't do it with enough pace. Because Edouard Mendy goes, dives down as if he's going to save it. Sees that he's chipped the shot. And just stands up and catches it with one hand. But that's okay. Not to worry. City have missed penalties before. And it hasn't necessarily come to bite them in the arse. Chelsea probably won't score. City will probably get another goal. It won't be spoken about. Sergio Aguero will be lifting the Premier League trophy in just an hour's time. Don't worry, eh? Don't worry, right? Yeah, right. Wrong, because what happens the second half, Chelsea really used this as incentive to come at Man City. I mean, they were already coming at them quite a bit in the first half. You know, City were actually playing rather cagily, rather defensively in this game. The ball comes to Ziyech outside the area, another baller. Can you imagine Hakim Ziyech comes to Chelsea? He's not even starting every week. Do you understand how good this guy is? Do you understand the technique, the way he can wrap his foot around a football, the things he can do with it? Nonetheless, he gets the ball on the outside of the box and drills it into the bottom right hand corner. The keeper's left, absolutely no chance of saving it. Ederson does in fact get fingertips to it, but it's not enough to stop it. And that goal really marked the beginning of the end for Manchester City, as Chelsea came forward again and again and again, really baying for that goal, dying for the goal, so hungry for it, with a further 2 more offside goals coming. And as I'm saying this, I just realised I forgot to tell you about the offside goal in the first half. Timo Werner again getting himself 2 offside goals on the night, making it 3 offside goals in one game. Not even VAR offside, just regular offside goals. Have they got bloody Stevie Wonder teaching them how to make runs behind the opposition defence? I don't get what's going on there. But eventually they do get the winner in the 92nd minute, no less. Marcus Alonso, the hero of the day, the man who stopped Manchester City from winning the Premier League in the last minute of the game. What a game it was in the end, and you have to say Chelsea were well valued for that win. Kind of like they were well valued for the win in the semi-final of the Cup against City. Although I think this performance was quite a bit better than that one. Just personally, you know, it's all down to perspective. But for me, I feel like they played the better football. They looked a lot more threatening than Manchester City on Sunday. And they really looked like they were the more dominant team. However, this is where the trouble comes in. Because when it comes to the Champions League final, everyone's thinking, oh, Chelsea are going to dust them up now. However, let me tell you why you're wrong. Let me tell you why that is not the case. Manchester City, and more importantly, Josep Guardiola, is not going to let himself get schooled 3 times in a row by Thomas Tuchel. I can assure you that. Let's not forget this game. There was no Kevin De Bruyne. There was no Riyad Mahrez. Yeah, sure, they were playing Sterling, who I think should feature in the Champions League final, but that's a different point nonetheless. So you could say this is a weaker team. This isn't Pep Guardiola's first, you know, his main team that he'll use for his most important games. So that's the first thing to take into account. Not only that, but we all know that Pep Guardiola kind of varies his tactics a bit in the Champions League. I mean, it looked like he varied his tactics for this game. Man City were a lot more defensive than I usually see them. They were a lot more sat deep. They were a lot more reserved. Chelsea were getting a lot more of the ball in the midfield. It's not really what you would have expected. And I'm telling you, he's going to switch it up in the final. City are going to run rampant. This loss was the worst thing that could have happened to Chelsea. Winning yesterday, it was the worst thing that could have happened to them, because now Manchester City have even more to fight for, even more to get themselves up. Not only is it the Champions League final, their first ever Champions League final, a lot of those players, but now you're going up against your country rivals, your Premier League rivals, a side that have knocked you out of a semi-final of a cup competition, have now humiliated you and stopped you from winning the league. Sometimes things just feel greater than football. There just feels like a power within from somewhere that is controlling the narrative of this. It just makes sense for City to give away these 2 games, to allow Chelsea to get into the cup final and win that Champions League. It just seems like it's their time in history. Every single year they've been one of the favourites for the Champions League, and every single year they faltered. And finally, Sergio Aguero's last year at the club, the man who said back in 2014, I will not leave this club. Me and this club, we're not parting ways until I win a Champions League trophy with Manchester City. And now he has the chance. Now he's leaving the club. He's already confirmed to be leaving the club next year. So this is his last chance, his last game, the last kick of the ball in a Manchester City shirt for Sergio Aguero. And it just feels Everything is pointing towards a Manchester City victory. Now look, of course I'm not completely counting out Chelsea. They can do it on the day, and Tuchel has proved that he is clearly an elite manager, and him himself got to a Champions League final just last year, and he'll be determined not to let another one go by the wayside. He'll be determined to not let his side lose again, and certainly not falter to quite a damp 1-0 loss. By all accounts, I feel like this one is going to be goal frenzy. This will be an extremely goal heavy affair. You can mark my words on it. I know, that seems crazy. It seems like if any of the Champions League finals were going to be damper, if any of them were going to have a less attractive scoreline, then it will be, of course, the one featuring a Thomas Tuchel Chelsea side. A Chelsea side who have conceded the least XG in the league since he's come in. A Chelsea side that have kept the most clean sheets since he's come in. A Chelsea side that have only conceded 9 goals since he's come in. So by all accounts, a very defensively resolute Chelsea team. Like I said, sometimes things are greater than football. Sometimes there's powers within that you just cannot control. You cannot legislate for. Whoever wins on the night, rest assured it will not be one to miss. It will be one that will go down in the history of time, and even more so if it marks Manchester City's first ever Champions League victory. The only thing stopping them from bridging that gap to becoming a European powerhouse. Anyway, guys, that is all for today. Who do you think's gonna win the game? Who do you think has the best storyline going into it? And who do you think is gonna be the best performer on the night? But anyway, guys, if you did enjoy the video, then a like would always be appreciated. And if not, and you want to let me know what a prick I am down below, then that is equally as valid and accepted. But anyway, guys, thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.